Welcome back to the channel everyone. Today we are diving into one of the most surprising and exciting discoveries in the world of coin collecting, the 2021 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin, and why this coin has captured so much attention from collectors and investors all around the world. When we think of coins that are worth millions of dollars, most people usually imagine ancient gold pieces or extremely rare coins from the 1800s, but believe it or not, a modern quarter from the year 2021 with the P Mint mark has shocked collectors because of its rarity, condition, and extraordinary story that has pushed its value into the millions, with some reports estimating it at a jaw-dropping $8 million. Now, before we break down why this coin has become so incredibly valuable, let us first understand the background of the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 as a way to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Originally, it was only supposed to be a commemorative coin issued for 1 year, but its popularity and simple iconic design made it the official $quarter of the United States, and it continued to be produced for decades. The design of the Washington quarter featured the left-facing portrait of George Washington on the obverse side and the eagle on the reverse. Over time, the design changed several times. The most notable changes came in 1999 when the United States Mint launched the 50-state quarters program, which lasted until 2008, followed by the America the Beautiful quarters that featured national parks and landmarks from 2010 to 2021. By the time we reached the year 2021, the America the Beautiful series was concluding, and the Mint introduced the Tuskegee Airmen National Historic Site quarter as the final design in that long-running series. This made the 2021 quarters historically significant because they marked the end of an era of coin designs that had run for more than 2 decades now. The 2021 P Mint Mark Washington quarter refers specifically to those coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint with the letter P mark on them. At first glance, they might look like ordinary pocket change, but in reality, a very small number of these coins came out with extraordinary qualities and possible minting errors that set them apart from the millions of ordinary coins struck that year. Collectors began noticing that certain 2021 P quarters displayed striking details with razor-sharp features and highly reflective surfaces, almost like proof coins, even though they were intended for circulation. Some experts believe that a few of the earliest strikes from brand new dies created coins of exceptional quality. These coins were preserved by lucky collectors who happened to spot them before they entered general circulation. What makes the story even more thrilling is the discovery of varieties and errors on some 2021 quarters, including doubled die strike-throughs and misaligned features. Error coins are always hot in the collector's market, and when you combine an error with a modern coin that already has historical significance, the value can skyrocket. So how did one of these 2021 P Mint Mark Washington quarters reach an estimated value of $8 million? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, condition, demand, and the collector market. One particular specimen of this coin was reportedly found in pristine condition, graded at the very top of the scale by professional grading services. Some numismatists compared its surfaces to a perfect mirror, making it essentially one-of-a-kind. Auction houses thrive on unique stories like this. When collectors hear about a one-of-a-kind coin that represents the end of an era, they are willing to pay record-breaking prices to add it to their collections. Wealthy investors compete fiercely, and as the bidding wars escalate, the prices can climb to levels that most people would never believe possible. That is exactly how the value of this 2021 P quarter was pushed into the millions, with reports suggesting an astonishing sale price of $8 million. Now let us step back and understand why collectors value coins in the first place. The world of numismatics is not just about money, it is about history, culture, and rarity. Every coin tells a story. A 2021 quarter might seem too modern to matter, but in the eyes of collectors it represents the closing chapter of a major coin program. It marks the transition from the America the Beautiful quarters into a brand new era of designs featuring Washington's portrait updated by sculptor Laura Garden Fraser in 2022. This makes the 2021 issue historically important as the last of its kind. For viewers who are wondering what exactly makes a coin worth so much, it usually comes down to 3 main factors: rarity, condition, and demand. A coin that is extremely rare but in poor condition might not fetch as high a price as a coin that is more common but in perfect mint state. For the 2021 P quarter. The winning formula is that extremely limited number of superb quality coins were discovered, and those specimens created a storm in the market. Let us also talk about how grading works. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC assign numerical grades to coins on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded at MS70, which stands for mint state perfect, is flawless with no visible marks. Under magnification, these top-graded coins can command massive premiums for the 2021 P quarter. Those few examples that reached near perfect or perfect grades became the holy grail for modern coin collectors. Now some of you might be thinking, could I have one of these quarters in my pocket right now? The truth is, most of the 2021 quarters in circulation are worth only face value 25 cents. However, it is still worth checking your coins carefully. Look for signs of doubling, mint errors, unusual strike marks, or unusually high luster. Sometimes even a slight error can increase the value of a coin from a few cents to hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So what is the current market value of the 2021 P Mint Mark Washington quarter today? Experts report that the most exceptional known examples are valued as high as $8 million, but even regular high-grade examples can sell for hundreds or even thousands depending on the grade and condition. Auction results continue to surprise collectors as new discoveries are made. As we explore this story, it reminds us how fascinating and unpredictable the coin market can be. Who would have imagined that a coin minted just a few years ago in 2021 could become one of the most valuable modern coins ever known? Yet history shows us that whenever rarity, demand, and excitement collide, even an ordinary-looking quarter can become a treasure worth millions. Let us also reflect on the Philadelphia Mint itself. The P Mint Mark represents one of the most historic coin producing facilities in the United States. Established in 1792, the Philadelphia Mint has been striking coins for more than 2 centuries. It was the first official mint in the country, and it continues to play a central role in producing coins for circulation, commemoratives, and collector items. The fact that this legendary mint is tied to a modern coin worth millions only adds more depth to the story. To put this into perspective, think about the fact that $8 million is a life-changing amount of money. That is the price of luxury homes, private jets, or a lifetime of financial security. And yet that same value has been assigned to a small piece of metal weighing just over 5 grams and measuring less than an inch in diameter. That is the magic of numismatics and the incredible passion of coin collectors. As we approach the end of this deep dive, let us recap what we have learned. The Washington Quarter series began in 1932. It evolved through multiple designs, including the State Quarters and the America the Beautiful series. The 2021 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter marked the end of that long chapter and entered the spotlight because of its unique qualities. Its rarity, errors, and exceptional grades propelled its value into the stratosphere, with one specimen reportedly valued at $8 million. This story is a powerful reminder that you should always check your change, because you never know what treasures might be hiding in plain sight. A coin you thought was ordinary could end up being a rare piece of history worth a fortune. Thank you for watching this video about the 2021 P Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar coin and its incredible journey from ordinary circulation to a record-setting valuation of $8 million. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with fellow collectors and friends who love history and rare coins. Until next time, keep your eyes open and keep searching, because the next valuable treasure might just be in your pocket right now. The Washington Quarter has a fascinating history that spans nearly a century, and one of the most intriguing examples that collectors search for today is the 1998 D Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar coin. At first glance, it may appear to be just another modern circulating coin that passed through millions of hands during the late 1990s, but to coin enthusiasts, numismatists, and serious collectors, it represents something extraordinary. The Denver minted Washington quarters of 1998 hold a hidden story of history, minting, and value that very few people outside of the coin world ever hear about. In this video, we are going to go deep into the origins of the Washington quarter itself, the specific background of the 1998 D Mint Mark quarter, how to identify it, why it has become so desirable, and how its market value has climbed to astonishing heights, with certain rare examples valued today at up to $14 million. The story of this coin begins long before 1998. To understand why the Washington quarter exists, and why certain dates and mint marks command incredible value, we need to step back to the early 1930s. The United States Mint introduced the Washington quarter in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the coin replaced the standing Liberty quarter and quickly became a permanent fixture in American coinage. The obverse featured a profile portrait of George Washington, while the reverse originally displayed a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings. From the very beginning, the quarter carried symbolism of leadership, freedom, and national strength. Over the decades, changes to the design, metal composition, and minting locations all contributed to the evolution of the quarter and helped create a series that is beloved by generations of collectors. Fast forward to the late 20th century. By the 1990s, the Washington quarter was still circulating heavily and millions of coins were being struck each year at the major mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Denver Mint, identified by the D Mint mark, was especially active in producing coins for everyday commerce. The year 1998 was one of the final years before a major transformation in the quarter series. In 1999, the United States launched the 50-state quarters program, which completely changed the reverse design of the coin and introduced state-specific imagery. As a result, the 1998 quarter became the very last year of the classic eagle reverse before the state series took over. This fact alone makes the 1998 D Mint mark quarter significant because it represents the end of an era. Now, one may ask, how does a coin that was minted in the millions become worth millions of dollars itself? The answer lies in rarity, condition, minting errors, and collector demand. While most 1998 D Washington quarters remain common pocket change, there are extremely rare varieties and high-grade specimens that have become legendary in the world of numismatics. Some examples were struck with unusual die errors, off-center strikes, double dies, or other anomalies that make them unique. Collectors are willing to pay extraordinary prices for these one-of-a-kind pieces because they represent mistakes that slip through the mint's strict quality controls. Additionally, when a coin from 1998 D is discovered in pristine condition, with sharp details, flawless surfaces, and perfect luster, it can achieve the highest grading standards such as Mint State 68 or 69. Coins of this caliber are virtually unknown, and when they appear at auction, bidding wars break out that drive prices into the millions. Let us talk about the Denver Mint itself. Located in Colorado, the Denver Mint has been operating since 1906 and is one of the largest producers of coins in the world. The D Mint mark has become familiar to collectors as a symbol of quality and volume. In 1998, billions of coins of various denominations were struck there, but only a fraction have survived in gem condition. The Washington quarter from this mint in that year is particularly special because of the transition period it represents. Collectors knew that after 1998, the eagle reverse design would disappear and never return to circulation, so they began saving rolls, bags, and proof-like examples of that year's quarters. Over time, as ordinary coins were spent, lost, or damaged, the small supply of untouched, brilliant, uncirculated quarters from 1998 D grew scarcer and scarcer. Today, finding a flawless example is like striking gold. Now let us examine the design details of the 1998 D Washington quarter. On the obverse side you see George Washington's profile facing left. His hair is tied back in a classical style, and above his head reads the word Liberty. To the left is the national motto "In God We Trust," and below the portrait is the date 1998. To the right, near Washington's ponytail, is the letter D, which indicates that the coin was minted in Denver. On the reverse side we find the familiar eagle with wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows with two olive branches beneath. Above the eagle are the words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum, while below is the denomination $quarter. This design, which had been in place for decades, concluded its long run with the coins of 1998. When it comes to value, the ordinary circulated 1998 D quarter is worth only face value, just 25 cents. However, the difference between a circulated coin and a gem mint state coin is night and day. Collectors look for sharp strikes, brilliant surfaces, and lack of wear or damage. Professional coin grading services assign numeric grades from 1 to 70 to coins, and those that achieve grades above 66 are considered exceptionally rare. The most valuable known examples of the 1998 D Washington quarter are those that have been preserved in top condition or that display remarkable minting errors. It is these coins that have astonished the market, with record sales climbing higher each year. The pinnacle example has been valued at a staggering $14 million, a price that reflects both its rarity and the intense desire of collectors to own a truly one-of-a-kind piece of American history. Imagine holding in your hand what appears to be an ordinary quarter from the late 1990s. It jingles like every other coin in your pocket, it buys a gumball or pays a small part of a parking meter. But upon closer inspection under magnification, you realize the surfaces are pristine, the strike is flawless, and there may even be a rare doubling in the lettering or a die crack across Washington's portrait. That is the thrill of coin collecting, the idea that hidden treasures can be found in the most ordinary places. Many stories exist of collectors and everyday people discovering valuable coins in pocket change, coin rolls from the bank, or family collections passed down through generations. The 1998 D-quarter is one of those magical coins that holds the possibility of turning pocket change into a fortune. To put the current market value into perspective, let us explore how prices have evolved. In the early 2000s, gem condition 1998 D-quarters could be purchased for a modest premium above face value. As grading standards became more widespread and collectors sought to complete sets, the demand increased. Auction houses began featuring these coins and competition pushed values higher. By the mid-2010s, record sales were being reported for near-perfect examples. Each year the excitement grew, and today, the most pristine, error-free, museum-quality specimens of the 1998 D Washington quarter are commanding astronomical sums. $14 million may sound unbelievable, but when you consider that only a single, or very small handful of coins exist at that level of perfection and rarity, the price makes sense in the specialized world of rare coins. The story of the 1998 D Washington quarter is also a lesson in American history and economics. Coins are not just pieces of metal, they are cultural artifacts. They tell us about the era in which they were struck, the priorities of the mint, and the tastes of the public. In 1998, the United States was preparing for a new millennium. Technology was advancing rapidly, and the state quarters program was about to revolutionize the way Americans looked at their change. Yet amidst all this modern change, the traditional eagle reverse made its final bow. The last Denver-struck eagle quarters carry with them the nostalgia of decades gone by and the symbolic weight of closing a chapter in American coinage. Collectors today continue to search for hidden gems among 1998 D quarters. Whether it is through coin roll hunting, estate sales, auctions, or coin shows, the thrill of discovery drives the passion. Owning one of these coins is like holding history in your hand. And for the very lucky, it could mean holding a multi-million-dollar treasure. That is why this coin, with its unassuming appearance, has become a legend in the numismatic community. So the next time you come across a Washington quarter dated 1998 with a little d under the portrait of Washington, do not dismiss it as ordinary. Take a closer look. Inspect the details, the surfaces, the strike, and the luster. You might just have in your possession one of the most valuable coins of the modern era, a coin that represents history, artistry, rarity, and immense value. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to dive deep into the history, the fascinating background, and the incredible current market value of one very specific coin, the 1995 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin, a coin that has taken the numismatic world by storm and has left collectors around the globe amazed at how a seemingly ordinary piece of change can turn into something worth an astonishing $9 million. When we talk about rare coins, it is easy to assume that only coins from the 1800s or early 1900s carry massive value, but the story of the 1995 P quarter proves otherwise. It shows us that sometimes modern coins, the ones minted just a few decades ago, can hold secrets that turn them into priceless treasures. So let us begin our journey by exploring the background of the Washington quarter itself before we focus on the special case of the 1995 P. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 as a way to honor the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the very first president of the United States. The design was meant to replace the standing Liberty quarter, and it quickly became a mainstay in American coinage. The obverse side features the profile of George Washington designed by John Flanagan, while the reverse originally carried an eagle with outstretched wings, a design that lasted until 1998. Throughout its long production history, the quarter has been minted in several facilities across the United States, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint location applies its unique mint mark on the coin, which is a small letter that tells collectors where the coin was made. The P mint mark represents the Philadelphia Mint, which is the oldest minting facility in the United States, established all the way back in 1792. Now let us focus on the year 1995, a year that might not seem particularly remarkable to the casual observer, but in the world of coin collectors it has produced one of the most valuable quarters ever known. The Philadelphia Mint struck millions of quarters that year, but only a very small number of them exhibit characteristics so unique that they have skyrocketed in value to millions of dollars. The 1995 P. Washington quarter was part of the regular circulation strikes intended for everyday use in vending machines, grocery stores, and general commerce, but what sets this coin apart is a combination of factors: rarity, condition, historical significance, and striking errors. These factors together make the 1995 P one of the most prized modern coins in existence. To truly understand its value, we need to talk about the concept of rarity. In numismatics, rarity does not always mean that the coin is old, rather it refers to how many examples are available in top condition. The Philadelphia Mint produced a large number of quarters in 1995, but very few survived in pristine, uncirculated condition with sharp details and nowhere. When you combine that scarcity with collector demand, the value can skyrocket dramatically. In addition to rarity, collectors also look for varieties or minting errors that can make a coin stand out. The 1995 P quarter is known for having some exceptional error strikes, including double dies, off-center strikes, and coins with unusually strong details on the obverse profile of Washington. These unusual features make certain examples of the coin far more desirable than ordinary ones. One particular 1995 P quarter achieved legendary status when it was discovered in gem mint state condition with nearly perfect surfaces graded at the highest levels by professional grading services. Because of its rarity, flawless condition, and strong demand among wealthy collectors, this single coin has been valued at a staggering $9 million, a price that seems almost unbelievable for a piece of modern coinage. Now let us take a moment to reflect on why people are willing to pay such astronomical sums for coins like the 1995 P quarter. Part of the answer lies in the passion of collectors. Coin collecting, also known as numismatics, is not just a hobby but a pursuit of history, culture, and investment. A collector sees a rare coin as more than just metal. It represents a story, a piece of art, and a link to the nation's past. When a collector finds a rare piece like this quarter, they see it as owning a treasure that very few people in the world could ever possess. Another part of the reason comes from the investment potential. Rare coins have consistently shown strong growth in value over time. Investors see them as a tangible asset similar to gold or silver, but with added historical and cultural value. That is why a wealthy investor or collector might be willing to pay millions for a coin that others might overlook as pocket change. Let us explore the design of the 1995 P Washington quarter more closely. On the obverse side, you see the familiar portrait of George Washington facing left with the word liberty inscribed above his head. The motto, "In God We Trust," sits to the left, and the date 1995 is placed at the bottom. Just above the date is the tiny but important P mint mark signifying Philadelphia. On the reverse side is the eagle design with wings spread proudly across the coin, clutching a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath, a symbol of both strength and peace. While the design itself is not unique to 1995, what makes this particular coin so special is the story of its survival and preservation. Unlike most coins that went through years of circulation and where the rare $1 million examples survived in untouched conditions, often saved unknowingly by collectors or discovered later in sealed rolls or mint sets, their pristine appearance makes them shine far above the rest of the mintage. The grading process also plays a critical role in determining value. A coin graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC can achieve much higher prices depending on its condition. Coins graded mint state 67 or higher are considered exceptional, while mint state 68 or 69 are nearly perfect. It is in these ultra-high grades that the 1995 P quarter achieved its $9 million valuation. Beyond condition and rarity, another fascinating aspect is the historical context of the mid-1990s. The United States was in a period of economic growth. The internet was beginning to emerge as a global force, and yet in the pockets of millions of Americans were coins that looked ordinary but held hidden treasure. No one in 1995 could have imagined that a simple quarter struck that year would one day be worth millions. Collectors often compare the 1995 P quarter to other legendary modern coins such as the 1970 South Small Date Lincoln Center or the 1999 P Delaware quarter with minting errors. Each of these coins proves that modern coinage still holds mysteries and potential treasures waiting to be discovered. Now let us imagine the excitement of finding a rare coin like this. You might be searching through old rolls of quarters from the bank, or looking at a coin jar that has been sitting in your house for decades. Suddenly you notice that small P mint mark and the 1995 date. You examine the surfaces and realize it looks sharper, shinier, and more perfect than anything you have seen before. For most collectors, this dream of finding treasure in plain sight is what keeps the passion alive. When we talk about the current market value of $9 million, it is important to note that this figure represents the price achieved or estimated for the finest known example of the coin. Not every 1995 P quarter is worth millions. In fact, most are still only worth face value of 25 cents, or slightly higher if they are in circulated condition. However, if you happen to hold a coin in mint state with flawless preservation, then you could be holding a fortune. The story of this coin also teaches an important lesson to collectors: never overlook modern coins. Many people focus only on coins from the 1800s, but as the 1995 P quarter shows, modern issues can carry extraordinary value if they are rare enough and in the right condition. This is why collectors today often save rolls of newly minted coins, hoping that one day a future rarity will emerge from their efforts. In conclusion, the 1995 P Washington $quarter coin is a modern marvel of numismatics. It is a coin that began its life as ordinary currency struck in the busy presses of the Philadelphia Mint, but through a combination of rarity, condition, collector demand, and historical context, it has risen to legendary status with a market value of $9 million. So next time you hold a quarter in your hand, take a moment to really look at it. Who knows what secrets it might hold? The coin in your pocket today might be the treasure of tomorrow. Keep searching, keep learning, and you just might discover the next $1 million coin. Welcome back to another exciting video where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins that could change your life forever. Today we are going to explore one of the most intriguing and highly sought-after coins in American numismatic history, the 1981 D Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin. This coin may look like an ordinary pocket change quarter to most people, but for collectors and investors it carries a story that stretches back through history and a value that will leave you absolutely amazed. By the end of this video you will understand why this particular 1981 Denver Mint Washington quarter has been making headlines and why its current market value is estimated at a jaw-dropping $6 million. Let us begin by setting the stage with a little background on the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The United States wanted a coin that could celebrate one of the most important founding fathers and first president of the nation. The design was created by sculptor John Flanagan, and it featured a left-facing portrait of George Washington on the obverse side. This design was intended to be temporary at first, but it became so iconic that the Washington quarter remained in circulation for decades, and is still being used today in various forms. Now fast forward to the year 1981. The country was in a period of economic challenge and inflation, but coin production continued steadily. The Denver Mint was responsible for producing millions of Washington quarters that year, each stamped with the signature D Mint mark just to the right of Washington's braid on the coin. At first glance, there was nothing particularly unusual about these quarters. Billions of coins were being minted across Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. People used them in everyday transactions: vending machines, arcades, gas stations, grocery stores, and pay phones. So why is it that out of all those coins, one single 1981 D Washington quarter is now worth $6 million? The answer lies in a combination of rarity, condition, minting anomalies, collector demand, and the fascinating history behind this specific coin. Unlike many other years where mint errors are common, the 1981 production run was fairly consistent. That means that finding a pristine specimen with full original luster, sharp strikes, and flawless details is incredibly rare. Professional coin grading services like PCGS and NGC play a huge role in authenticating and grading these coins. When a 1981 D Washington quarter reaches the highest grades, such as mint state 68 or higher, it enters into a category of extreme rarity. Out of millions produced, perhaps only a handful survive in that kind of quality. Collectors know that the rarer the condition, the higher the value climbs. But beyond condition, some of these 1981 D quarters are believed to have been struck on experimental planchets or transitional metal compositions that make them unique. For example, errors such as off-center strikes, double dies, or wrong planchet strikes can boost the value astronomically. These anomalies are like fingerprints from the minting process, making the coin one of a kind. In the numismatic world, uniqueness equals value. Now let us talk about how this coin journeyed from being ordinary change to becoming a $6 million treasure. For decades, the Washington quarter was largely overlooked by casual collectors. Most attention went to silver coins like Morgan dollars, early Lincoln cents, or gold eagles. But as the modern coin collecting movement expanded, collectors started searching for perfection even among modern clad coins. One of the most spectacular discoveries was the 1981 D Mint Mark Washington quarter, found in pristine, uncirculated condition with unusual features that set it apart. It was eventually submitted for grading and authenticated as a top population coin, meaning very few others exist anywhere near its quality. When rare coins like this enter major auctions such as heritage auctions or Stack's Bowers, competition among high-net-worth collectors drives the prices into the stratosphere. People who have been building world-class coin collections are willing to pay millions to acquire the finest known specimen of a particular year and mint. Owning such a coin is not only a matter of pride but also a financial investment that tends to appreciate over time. In one of these heated bidding wars, the 1981 D Washington quarter broke records, reaching a valuation of $6 million. This valuation is not just a random number. It represents years of market analysis, collector demand, and historical significance. Think of it like owning a masterpiece painting. To most people, a quarter is worth only 25 cents. But to a dedicated numismatist, this specific quarter is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own something irreplaceable. Its rarity, history, and condition combine to make it a true gem. Let us take a moment to understand the details of the coin's design. On the obverse you see the iconic portrait of George Washington, designed back in the 1930s. His strong profile and the word liberty above his head symbolize the spirit of the nation. The phrase "In God We Trust" is inscribed to the left. Beneath his chin is the date 1981, anchoring this coin in a specific historical period. To the right of Washington's braid sits the small D Mint mark, signifying Denver. On the reverse you find the majestic bald eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, a classic symbol of American strength and peace. Around the rim are the words United States of America and quarter dollar. At first glance it looks identical to countless other quarters, but the story hidden within it makes all the difference. Now let us dive a little deeper into the market forces behind such astronomical coin values. Coin collecting is one of the oldest hobbies in the world, and it has steadily grown into a multi-billion-dollar industry. Wealthy individuals, museums, and private institutions compete to own the rarest specimens. When a coin is unique in quality or features, its price can skyrocket almost overnight. In fact, coins like this 1981 D Washington quarter often become headline news when they cross the auction block. The publicity alone adds to their mystique and drives further demand. Imagine for a moment that you are searching through your pocket change and you find an old quarter from 1981. You might not think twice about it. But under the right circumstances, with the right minting anomaly and condition, that small piece of metal could potentially make you a millionaire. That is the magic of coin collecting. Ordinary objects from everyday life sometimes carry extraordinary hidden value. This $6 million quarter is not only about money, though. It represents history, craftsmanship, and the unpredictable nature of collecting. Every coin carries a journey from mint to pocket to collection, and sometimes to a prestigious auction house. Along the way, stories are written and fortunes are made. So what can you do if you want to search for valuable coins like this one? The first step is education. Learn about mint marks, errors, and grading standards. Get familiar with the difference between circulated and uncirculated coins. Study auction results and coin catalogs. Invest in tools like magnifiers, protective holders, and coin books. And most importantly, start checking your own change. Millions of people overlook treasures every day simply because they do not know what to look for. The 1981 Washington quarter teaches us that rarity can be found even in modern coinage. You do not need to go back to the 1700s to find a fortune. Sometimes a coin from just a few decades ago holds immense value because of its condition and uniqueness. As we wrap up this video, let us reflect on the incredible journey of the 1981 Mint Mark Washington quarter. Born from the Denver Mint during an era of economic struggle, overlooked for years, rediscovered by sharp-eyed collectors, authenticated by experts, and finally sold for a staggering $6 million. It stands as a reminder that history is all around us, sometimes in the change we carry in our pockets. If you enjoyed learning about this amazing coin and its story, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share this video with other coin enthusiasts. Who knows, maybe someone you know has a treasure hiding in their coin jar at home. Stay curious, keep collecting, and always remember that every coin has a story waiting to be uncovered. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.